Hi, folks. Wasn't that a summer? Now we can look forward to the cooling breezes of fall. Kids back in school, and if you're lucky, the smell of deep fried onions drifting from the Western Fair, which, believe it or not, is already in full swing in London. I'm still a little kid at heart. My favorite thing, well, other than sneaking in the free samples of, candy and whatever else vendors are generous enough to toss my way, is going into the cattle barns. I know that smell. Part hay, part, well, let's just say it's authentic farm. Reminds me of childhood summers. One good whiff, and the old scout vibrates. Circulation check. And bonus, it's free. I love the freebies, always have, always will. I sometimes think I should bottle that smell, a fragrance guaranteed to bring out your inner farmer. Some of those barns even have a personality. Well, the last time I was there was a cow staring at me like it owned the place, chewing cud with a, majestic confidence. Only a cow can muster. Remembering home in the olden days. Hi, everyone. I'm Liz, and welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're daring enough to take a chance, with us again. More real life stories from behind my bifocals are coming your way, so buckle up. Family tradition has it that every year we get roped into taking my in-laws, or as I affectionately call them, my outlaws, Mother Myrtle and Father Mortimer, Mertie and Mortie, to all that know them, to the fair. They have no car and refuse to walk. I've threatened Clem many times to send them on a jet-propelled trip. Oh, if they'd only bend over. They don't like walking around the fair, and, they most certainly don't like visiting the cattle barns. But I blame them. Mertie insists on sitting at the candy floss station the entire time, staring at the spinning sugar like it's a national treasure. Well, I offered to take the buggy for her, but she complained that the last time she rode in it, well, she got a blister on her butt from all the bumping and grinding. Bumping and grinding, well, I suspect is her polite way of saying she simply hates moving. She also claims she can't walk much due to ingrown toenails. I've been tempted, yes, I have. Oh, so tempted to stomp on them a few times, but I'm a patient, forgiving gal. And besides, I don't think she'd believe me if I told her, well, the devil made me do it. Or maybe she would. I just wish once in a while Clem and I could go and have some fun. Last year, Morty agreed, bless his brave little heart, to ride the swinging ship with us. I thought, well, with any luck, on the downswing, he might get caught in the mast and forever hoist the sail up his shirt. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? Yes, you did. My prayers were answered, though, just not quite, the way I imagined. I could hear him yelling, or at least making noises that resembled yelling. When I turned to look, there was his mouth, frozen wide open in a scream, eyes bulging out like my poor cranky dog after he discovered the chicken in the garbage. The ride finally stopped, and everyone got off, well, except Morty. I found Mertie candy flossing as usual and dragged her over to the ride. It took all three of us, Clem, me, and my outlaw, us, to undo Morty's fingers from that rod thing in front. Clem lifted him out of the seat and onto solid ground, more like dragged. Morty was so sick he could barely move anything, with the exception of, stamping his feet to indicate he wanted to go home. No sound coming from his frozen face. Did I feel sorry for him? Mertie, full of floss and completely oblivious, declared that she was ready to go because, as she put it, there's nothing left for us to do. Didn't matter about Clem and I guess. I sometimes replay that swinging ship scene in my head. Morty's mouth frozen open and arms clinging for dear life. Clem trying to act like he's a hero, and me, the patient observer, wondering if someone somewhere is filming this, can't talk today, for a new comedy special. Honestly, I think the ride operator deserved an Oscar just for keeping a straight face. Well, before we left, I made sure to purchase my beer nuts, my one yearly indulgence, and Clem got his candy apples. I decided at least I wouldn't have to do without my, crunchy, sweet coated treasures. I could almost taste them, imagining the sweet coating cracking beneath my teeth. Out of politeness, I thought to offer some to the Outlaws. Surely after that experience with the ride, and all the floss, they'd have no appetite. Clem wisely refrained from touching even one. By the time we dropped the Outlaws off and arrived home, they had polished off my beer nuts, and Clem had chipped his false teeth on his candy apple. I don't know why I'm laughing, it's just funny. I swear he looked like a miniature pirate. I sat back trying not to cry or laugh too hard, and pondered how life had taught me patience, perseverance, and the importance of locking up one's snacks. Clem, bless him, walks around the fair like a man on a mission. Nothing can distract him, well, except maybe a funnel cake. That's his next favorite to a candy apple. Then suddenly he's a kid again, sticky fingers and all. Well, negotiating with the vendor like it's Wall Street. I love him, but honestly, sometimes I think I married my own sidekick. That's bad. In the Fair Adventure series. Now, Mertie could stare at a spinning candy floss all day. I sometimes imagine her sitting there in a rocking chair at home, still flossing sugar in her imagination, humming Sweet Caroline. And Morty, he probably wants to be anywhere else. Well, maybe in a hammock, sipping something cold and pretending, he's still young. Well, as I reflect on these adventures, I realize that every trip with Mertie and Morty is a story in itself. Last year's swinging ship debacle will probably make the highlight reel for the next family gathering. I sometimes think Mertie and Morty are secretly testing my patience. And if so, mission accomplished. This year, I might just send them, by drone or hire a stunt doubles, I guess I'd need. Mertie called last night to ask what night we were picking them up. We can't wait, she said in that chipper tone that makes, me want to take a deep, calming breath. Give me strength. I suspect this year will be another epic adventure filled with candy, chaos, and comedic misfortune. I remember telling you that, Clem was my husband, but we gathered together on this one day, to please, maybe more like appease, the Outlaws. So yes, the fair with my Outlaws is always chaos, sugar, and laughter. But somehow, amidst the candy, the cattle, and the occasional candy apple disaster, I wouldn't trade it. Life's about these little adventures, the bumps, the laughs, and yes, even the flying sugar that remind us we're alive and capable of laughing at the madness. I'd love to hear from you. Surely some of you have your own fair stories like misadventures or with in-laws or relatives or with yourselves and the ones that are like Outlaws. Post them in the comments. I guarantee you I'll be reading everyone laughing and probably and possibly sympathizing along with you. Meanwhile, take care, keep smiling, and remember, life is full of candy, cattle barns, and chaos, sometimes all at once. Until the next time, bye for now.